Working on my tucked bumper here for my 74 Mustang. Had the bumper on the car, marked it at two ends with white paint marker, and then sat it down here on the table and drew the other ones. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these bolts and epoxy them in place like that. So on these ones, if you look, because of the contour in the bumper here, they ain't going to sit flat, and they're going to sit crooked. So I'm grinding them down so that when I sit them in there, they're going to sit flat, straight up and down, and they'll fit into the holes for the tuck bumper. The end ones are okay. This one here is okay. I might have to do a little bit to that one. I don't think so. But this one here, this one, and that one there, where the bumper is sitting, have to grind down a little bit. So I got all these bolts grinded down now. They're all sitting straight up and down. And fit where they need to. Next step is to prep the fiberglass. Got the spots cleaned up, remarked where I'm going to glue them on. And here's what I'll be using to glue them on. I'm going to cheap out and not use the tip. I'm just going to squeeze it out onto something and mix it up. So I'm not doing a whole bunch. You kind of lose some in there when you do it, and stuff's not really that cheap. And go ahead and do that next. I've gone ahead and put some washers on. The bolt heads are a little bit bigger. They're pretty close to the size of the holes. So the washers are going to help keep that in, and also it's going to help whenever you put the steel bumper down on, it's not going to stick to the glue, to the panel bond. Been sitting for about 15 minutes now, and as you can see, it's still really workable. So we're going to give her some more time. Come down here and look down the line. They're pretty straight. Got one there that's a little crooked. You just got to come down here and kind of move it a little bit. Probably better ways you could do this, but this is just how I've done it in the past. I'll go ahead and wait a little bit more time, probably least another half hour or more before I put the bumper on. We'll just kind of go off of what this looks like, how easy it is to move around. Because it isn't the warmest. Here's the back bumper that's going on my 74. I used the pound of bond on these guys. I used carriage bolts on this one. I would probably definitely recommend the bolts. Carriage bolts, you get that little square there, and you can't get your nut down on quite as much before the bolt, and the bolt's going to grip better. If you can see this one here, I just took the steel piece off. This one here is I just re-glued because when I went to tighten the bolt, it spun, it broke free. But the other ones were okay. And I did that a while back. I got this bumper out of the junkyard. Somebody filled in the sides with foam and fiberglass. I'm going to fix that up so it looks a little bit nicer. And they had a big thick piece of steel running in here that they welded bolts to, and then they fiberglassed over it. We can do that. Just adds a lot of weight, kind of unnecessary in my opinion. Went ahead and laid the bumper on here. All my bolt holes, all my bolts lined up. This one on the end here was off a little bit, but it's a square hole, not a oval hole. Gonna give this a good 24 hours. Probably won't work on it till next weekend, and hopefully get it bolted on, and I'll be able to start on the little bit of fiberglass work I'm gonna have to do on the ends here. As mentioned in other videos, it doesn't fit tight to the fender because there's little imperfections in the fender, and I'm gonna do some fiberglass work there to eliminate all that. And then I'm gonna have to fix the damage on the bumper here. Got the King Cobra valance ordered. So when that comes in, I'll do a video on that. And things getting closer to being finished.